I'm like deliriously hungry.
The magic of
You can
editing.
keep
This will take 30 seconds.
I know. We can keep in me saying I'm deliriously
Where are you
hungry.
going to go eat? Because I'm hungry too.
Why don't we figure it out?
Okay.
Let's all go and eat. But hey, you the listener, you can't join us for lunch, but where you can join us is on the Patreon. You can get it there. It's five English pounds a month, and you're going to get more of this episode with Andy Bush.
Hey,
Yeah, it was good. In the Patreon, there's all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we learn about Andy's Stag-Do. We learn about the Deal or No Deal banker.
And there's also a lot about gambling. So why don't you gamble on us and subscribe to our Patreon?
That's right. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment. I hate saying this shit, but I have to say it because it's important. It makes we're at the mercy of
Interact
these
with
forces.
us.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or any of those other places, leave us a review. I think on Spotify you can even comment. Do things that
Comment on
engage with
Spotify
the
now?
podcast.
If you find me annoying, why not let me know?
Yeah.
Oh, don't
Why
do
not
that.
speculate
No,
on what
no,
nationality Olga is?
No,
in the
no.
comments. All right, guys, enjoy the app.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I went back in there, I kicked the door open, I was like, right, first of all, this ain't saggy. And I'm like, good enough. You told him.
We're having a barbecue at Riley's house. Basically,
okay.
I didn't know the etiquette.
You're inviting Riley to a barbecue at his house.
Yes.
That's exactly
Yes,
what I
that's
did.
literally
Are we rolling?
Okay, great.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
That sounds
Literally what she just did. She invited me to a barbecue at my house where I would be cooking.
Okay, it's beautiful weather. His house is gorgeous. He's got a barbecue. I want a barbecue. And I would like to organize one. It just so happens to be at Riley's house.
Uh-huh. So
I don't know the etiquette about inviting myself over, but I've just done it successfully.
You have
Yeah.
just done it. We have just scheduled that you are going to come over.
Yeah.
And I'm going to probably make like a char siu pork belly.
That sounds freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Pretty good.
This feels like the sort of thing there would be like a Russian expression for, you know, like priglasit как Bulgar or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Organize an event at someone else's house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 A Bulgarian invitation.
That's what I did.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what you did. And that's, my goodness.
What is in this coffee? Is there sugar and milk in this?
Just oat milk and
Okay.
espresso.
It's delicious.
So yes, there is
Well, there
sugar
you
in
go.
milk
It's
in it
delicious.
because of oat milk's high glycemic index.
Okay, well,
There we go.
look,
Uh-huh.
That's
I
been
know-
Riley's eating disorder corner.
Yeah.
It's true. It has a high glycemic index. You might as well be drinking a soda.
Nothing you
and
say
what's
is
wrong
untrue.
with that?
Nothing.
It's not that it's untrue. It's what it reveals about the
Everybody's
inner
got a
workings.
fucking eating disorder. I can't. I fucking can't. The amount of my friends who are like, I'm on Ozempic. Okay.
Yeah.
I-
Andy,
I
are you
kinda
concerned
want-
about the glycemic index of food?
it does worry me. It does worry me. But yeah, I try not to look at. What do you guys read the back of anything that you're eating or drinking or anything?
Oh, I read
Do you?
the front because it says all the.
Well, only
things
because I'm
that-
on the loo.
It says because it says the calories,
Andy,
right?
let me explain something to you. I
Right.
was a teenager in the 2000s. I
Right.
have had my eating disorder time. Now I'm free as a fucking bird. But what
Good.
happens is all my closest male friends are now discovering eating disorders. And much like
We're
everything,
dirty casuals. We've come to it late.
teen girls are ahead of the curve on everything. Do you know what I mean? Like teen girls love Taylor Swift, teen girls like Harry Styles. All of a sudden, now that they're cool, people are like, ooh, but Harry Styles. You know what? I've been on it as a teen girl, so now you're telling me how many calories there are in a blueberry? Fuck you. And then
Oh, now men are reading the back of Harry Styles.
they're like rebranding. They're rebranding Slim Fast as Huel. Like we've done this. I've done this. This is
Oh,
boring
shit.
to me.
I've never tried Huel. Have you ever tried
Oh
Huel?
God.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
not
I
even sure I
have.
know what it is.
It's like it's
Meal
like
replacement shake.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a meal in a can.
Like-
It's
Slim
like
Fast.
an adult milkshake.
Right,
And then-
okay.
Oh, it's fine. It's a version of a protein powder that doesn't upset my stomach.
Well-
basically, which is I'm putting my hands up. For me, that's what it is. I have a stomach that doesn't love whey protein,
Okay.
and it just means I can go and do
I got
all
a
of my
stomach that
stuff.
loves so.
What?
I love
Excuse
that.
me?
Well, great title for an autobiography.
And that is protein.
That
I
is
love
a
that whey
Huel of
protein
sorts.
is something that's so for the lads that they decided to start the name with whey.
That's very good.
That's the end
very
of
good
that.
stuff. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I said
No, that's
it really
fine.
upset you. I could tell. You could can you cut out just specifically me saying the word so people could guess what it is? I think they're gonna guess pretty quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's going to be the easiest quiz in the world.
Oh God.
What did Olga say?
Okay. Also,
Write in answers on a postcard. We're not going to tell you where.
Yeah,
Just
just guess
write-
the address.
Write something and send it somewhere. If we, by any chance, get the right answer, Cool.
Or like message
Also,
in a bottle.
The Gatorade is sugar-free if you're worried about that.
I'm not so much worried about that. I was just enjoying my sugar-free
Okay.
Coca-Cola.
But if you're-
Although my dentist is like, you have to stop drinking so much fizzy drinks.
Oh yeah, because it destroys the enamel.
My dentists hate this.
all
they
all
do.
the more reason to drink Gatorade. It's a flatty.
Have you been to 9 other dentists to see if they all concur, or whether there's one rogue dentist?
This is the first instance in which 10 out of 10 dentists confer. Not a single dentist. If there could be one dentist that would be bribable by San Pellegrino, then I could have my conscience, because I could be like, this guy signed off on it.
One
So
dentist
funny.
who's in the pocket of big carbonated drinks.
Yeah, it's not even sugar. I don't have a high sugar diet. I'm not eating sugary.
No, but that
stuff.
was clear
I
from
actually
get-go.
think that it's fine for your teeth as
Yeah.
a little treat.
Well, you know
Why
who-
is he German?
Operation Paperclip Dentist.
Right. So there was the dentist that the Nazis trained to tell them that it was okay to drink carbonated drinks.
Fanta
Same guy who invented
specifically.
Fanta. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
very
I-
good. We were all virtual handshake. Yeah.
I will say, the dentist who will be okay with it, Kanye's dentist, because that guy's
Yeah, he's
okay with
probably out of
most
work.
things.
He's probably out of work now.
Don't you know the Kanye's dentist, the
Kanye's
one who's
dentist
like
is just
covered in tats?
Yeah, you can say Heil Hitler.
I'm not
Do you
aware
want
of
to see a
this.
picture of Kanye's dentist?
Yes, please.
Andy, I need you to consent explicitly.
A tattooed dentist.
Have you never
That
seen a
feels
picture of
wrong.
Kanye's
No,
dentist?
he is essentially a guy who got a dental degree, it seems, to sell nitrous as a kind of loophole to be a drug dealer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's smart.
Oh, yeah.
It's smart.
It's
you know?
similar to the guy who prescribed all that medication to Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, like a Hollywood doctor,
Dr.
But in
Conrad,
this case,
whatever his name was.
yeah.
This
Dr.
is
Conrad Black, the owner of the of many newspapers, now
Yeah.
Bear and Cross Harbor.
His
A guy who had to-
Canadian billionaire.
a
Conrad
guy who
Black.
had to give up his Canadian citizenship so he could be in the House of Lords. And then when legal action was brought against him here, was unable to run to Canada because he wanted to be a Lord so badly that he gave up his Canadian citizenship.
You'd think they'd let Canadians.
Oh,
be
my
in
word.
the
Look at that. He looks like kind of a cool tattooist or something,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's Kanye's dentist.
Yeah,
He
he's
looks
like
with
he's
the-
a dentist to the
I don't-
stars.
With the headgear on, he looks like he's from like the Chronicles of Riddick or something.
Yeah, he's got a Vin
Yeah.
Diesel look about him for sure.
I
Pitch
don't know,
black.
I don't know if he's still. I don't know if he's still the dentist. This happened sort of some while ago that this all sort of came out.
He's nicknamed the father of diamond dentistry.
Okay.
And then in 2024, he placed a titanium crown over the teeth of Kanye West. In August 2024, he was accused of getting West addicted to nitrous oxide by Milo Yiannopoulos in an affidavit
me.
filed to the California Dental Board. West sued him for such in May 2025.
Yeah.
So Milo Yiannopoulos is submitting legal work.
Yeah, look,
When
these
you-
guys are, they're
When
just.
you're at the fucking dental tribunal and the evidence against you is being brought by Milo Yiannopoulos, you know you're fucked. Like that's
Yeah.
such a bad. Like you're like, how did I get here in my career as a dentist?
I mean, he's probably doing fine. I mean, What?
This guy's like publicist.
I
Like,
think
what's
he's
going
probably doing fine. I mean, I don't know if you are essential, like anyone who's anything to the stars,
Mhm.
especially if it's a service they can't readily get elsewhere, is probably doing very well money wise, and is probably just able to throw lots of procedural tie-ups into any particular hearing about anything.
on? Mm,
So
yeah, true.
I would suspect probably he's doing fine.
How's your relationship with the dentist?
I'm terrified of the dentist.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm kind of scared of. I haven't been for a little while actually.
How do you
Just
feel
gone.
about
I'd
contributing
be
to a
terrified of that
stereotype
dentist.
Yeah, let's
about
see your
British
teeth.
people?
Let's see your teeth. They look good.
No, I'm
Pretty
not,
good teeth.
not so sure.
No,
I
but
think,
they look clean.
but don't other countries think us Brits have got terrible teeth, though, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Which is,
But I
No, we
certainly
know
that's outdated, right? It's certainly because like most British people that I know have perfectly fine teeth.
They've been to Turkey. Their teeth look great.
Yep, got them done.
Well, I'll say I think. Am I crazy to say dental work for the most part is not on the NHS?
You're not crazy to say that it is mostly not in the NHS.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think
It's
it's like
complicated.
the idea of a regular cleaning and a regular checkup is not part of the British experience. And I
Checkups
know
you
this
can get
based on
the
my
NHS
boyfriends alone.
pretty easily.
I've sent 3 separate boyfriends to the dentist.
I think that's just
What, like-
men.
But like,
Women- British
them
women
away,
are
like
going to the
I've sent you
dentist.
away to
What?
boarding school.
Exactly.
Men go to the dentist, but in Turkey.
like going training like a squire.
Although-
I've sent him off to live with
feel-
a strong dentist who'll raise him in the dentist creed.
My-
Am I
uh,
crazy to say that you go to the dentist twice a year for a checkup and a clean, whereas I think in Britain the custom is more like I'll go if I'm in pain.
Well, you see, right, the dentist used to clean my teeth, and then now, because they're always trying to scam more money out of you, the dentist makes you go to the hygienist,
Yep.
which I don't enjoy because it's too much cleaning. It's too long, it's too involved. The dentist used to just clean them a bit, it was fine. The hygienist, bear in mind, I've never had a filling, my teeth have always been perfectly healthy. Every time I go to the hygienist, she fucking sandblasts your teeth.
Yeah.
And then you get a lecture about how actually you should be spending like 4 hours a day purely on dental care. And I'm just like, this isn't my job. I appreciate that it's your job, but I can't allocate this much time to teeth. There's so much of the rest of me to worry about.
When did they bring in the sandblasting? That's a recent thing.
I've been on it since I was a kid.
Well, I always used to get a polish.
Yeah.
But there's now like a gritty sandblast.
Yeah, that then ends up all over your face.
Yeah.
Like a scrub.
I hate
Like,
the tube they put down the side of your mouth to get rid of the water.
It never
Doesn't
works.
work. I think my tongue's
Doesn't
going to
work.
go down there.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm now just complaining. But yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then
the
you know
dentist makes you think the tube works, but the tube doesn't work.
And you know they
Tube's
did a
alive.
good job because then you spit out blood. Come on, guys. And then they give you a toy for how brave you were.
I think my
Little
approach,
vibrator.
Cardiologist doesn't do that.
But they should.
but my
It's a
approach now
pacemaker.
would be not to do less dentists and just do the hygienist. I think because the hygienist is doing a lot of the, like you say, doing a lot of the cleaning stuff.
So that's
Yeah.
for cleaning, whereas the dentist is like, we need to give you have a cavity or...
Yeah. What I will say for my hygienist though is that she's very entertaining. She's like proper like Essex Hun mum. And then like she always has like a very involved story, like the kind of story where I feel like she's expecting like gasps and big reactions, but obviously like I have a bunch of medieval torture equipment in my mouth, so I was kind of like, One time I went in there and I was like, oh yeah, how's it going? She starts thinking, she's like, well, get this right, yeah, my son, he's 15, he's going through one of them phases, right? He's a fucking nightmare. She's like, I go in there the other day, I open the door to his room, he's on the phone. I'm like, this is a fucking pigsty, all right? You're going to clean this up, all right? I want to see this clean, yeah? And then he's like, yeah, whatever. So I leave the room. I'm walking down the corridor, and then I hear him on the phone to his mate. He goes, oh, it's nothing. Just that saggy tit bitch coming in here again.
Oh
my
my God.
Anyway, I went back in there. I kicked the door open. I was like, right, first of all, this ain't saggy. And I'm like, get his ass. You told him.
Oh my God.
Saggy tit bitch.
Damn.
Yeah. God, if
Why
I
would
would
you
have called
say
my
that?
mother that, I would no longer be alive. That'd be
Yeah,
on my
100%.
headstone.
What a strange thing to notice about your mother.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
What a strange thing to fixate on.
Mm.
You know?
They aren't what they used to be, Mom.
I mean,
Oh, when I was sucking on those
yeah,
bad boys.
I could imagine you sort of forming that opinion as a sort of really precocious 8-month-old, but you know, not really sort of as someone who could be described as feckless and indolent with their own bedroom. That's a little old.
Also, like,
I mean, babies, feckless and indolent, to be
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
but you know, it's
they don't
sort of-
contribute to society.
Well, it's sort of normal that they're feckless and indolent.
Because also, I feel like if you're her son, whatever's wrong with her boobs is probably your fault. Like you've got to be, you've got to be
Accountability,
realistic.
yeah.
Like she sacrificed them for you. Like
Yeah.
that's, she let you chew on those things. Like you've got to take some responsibility.
Yeah, it's like when men are like, abortions are a woman's thing. And it's like, well, she got there somehow, didn't she?
yeah. Who
Yep.
who did
God.
it? Who put it in there?
God.
You know,
You
the
okay?
stork.
God put it in there.
And God is a woman, as we know. So case closed. Thank you.
Yeah, it's wearing the I met God. I met God. She's a woman or whatever
Yeah.
T-shirt, being like, "This is not my fault."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
immaculate,
yeah.
immaculate conception.
Immaculate
It's
conception.
fun.
How do you feel about immaculate conception, Andy?
Well, that's an interesting question.
How are you coming down? Look, we're finally going to ask the difficult questions
Yeah.
of the 17th century.
Yeah.
How do you feel about immaculate conception? Does your house have a priest hole in it?
Well, do you know what? I was taught by nuns when I was at school.
Were you actually?
Yeah, taught by nuns. We used to have to do the rosary every morning when I was a
my
kid, which is kind of
God.
crazy. I don't know if people do that anymore now at like super religious schools and all that kind of thing.
We
And
normally do it after. The
Are you
podcast.
C of E, Catholic? What kind of flavor of
Roman Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Are there C of E nuns? I'm assuming so.
I don't think so.
know.
No,
No,
I
we
don't
don't.
think
We
you
don't.
have Protestant nuns. No.
Yeah, they don't have Protestant nuns.
You got-
Okay.
And I think the
Personal
Orthodox
relationship with
only
God.
have monks. I don't think they do
Mm.
nuns.
Well, I mean,
Oh no,
we-
they do nuns. I've met an Orthodox.
Yeah,
I think they do.
We've
Yeah.
spoken about Mount Athos on this show before, right?
Oh
Fucking
boy,
kill
have
me.
we?
Fucking kill me. You think 2021 is too long ago?
Well, Mount Athos is now. It's still going
Mount
on.
Athos is still going on.
Oh, there's still a place for the fellas. Look, we've talked
Yes,
a lot
we
about the
have
male
talked-
loneliness epidemic, but I think
We have talked about Mount Athos before.
we have, yeah.
It's one of these things. there are places that I sort of frequently return to when I'm on the
One
toilet.
of them is
Mount
Mount
Athos,
Athos, so I
being one
go
of
for a mini break.
If I'm on the toilet and looking at, Google Maps, there are places.
If you're on the toilet, you're spiritually connected to
I'm
Mount Athos.
frequently looking at some often similar places on Google Maps.
What are you looking for at Mount Athos?
I just like looking at interesting border regions.
Yeah.
So,
Matt-
for example, like just looking at sort of where Mount Athos intersects the Greek mainland, because it's not actually an island; it's a peninsula, just a difficult to access peninsula. It's easier to get to by boat.
Also, Andy, I don't want to patronize you, but Mount Athos is quite niche. Do you have any idea what he's talking about right now?
Not entirely.
It would be very understandable if you did.
I'm always looking for new stuff to look at whilst on the toilet
There you
on
go.
my phone.
Do
So this
you
could be a
also
thing.
look at Google Maps when you're on the toilet and just be like, oh, so that's what the sort of up until handover border, but one of the few land borders between China and Hong Kong looked like up until the 1999.
Yeah. I like that though. I mean, I'm willing to check
I'm
out some new
assuming there
stuff.
will be some websites where you could do like time travel on a map. Like this is where the
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator used to have a time travel element.
Oh,
to
yeah?
it. Do you remember? Have any of you guys ever played
No.
the Flight Simulator back?
I have, once or twice.
I said, well, I don't like flying, so I thought one approach to trying to cure my fear of flying is to play Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's
land
pick a
the plane
date, any day. September 11th.
Hold on a minute, guys. But you could go right back to like BC, and it would make the world look like what it was back. You couldn't land anywhere, like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of a way of, a more 3D experience,
That's
I guess.
really cool. Well, the Panama Canal didn't exist yet. That's exciting.
Exactly.
You
Go and check
land
it out.
on that strip. Fun.
Yeah, fly over it in a Cessna.
Very cool.
Give it a go. Bit more of a rig if you're on the loo, I guess, than just your mobile phone.
Yeah,
still.
you're gonna need to sort of get like a
VR headset?
or at least like a sort of a surface that you can strap a computer to, so you can be
Yeah.
I bet there is someone who consumes this podcast who has like a toilet in front of a desktop computer.
Sure.
I feel like
It was the next step after the stand-up desk. I think is the
Houston,
sit-down
we have a
toilet desk.
husband.
the sit-down desk. Finally, someone invented a sit-down desk.
Yeah.
It's a sit-down stand-up desk. No, so but this Mount Athos is a
He's brought it back round to my
region
house.
of Greece that is administered largely by the Orthodox Church, where it is a bunch of monasteries and only men are allowed into this subregion. It's one of a very small number of entirely gender-segregated, basically administrative zones.
It's like Greek Hooters.
But the opposite. It's Greek Hooters, but the opposite. Greek
I want to
balls.
have my bachelorette party at Mount Athos.
Yeah.
What, just upset a bunch of monks. You want to be in a kind of like a Looney Tunes situation, where you're kind of running from monastery to monastery, and they're trying to get you in a big net, so that just so they can get rid of you.
That's a Benny Hill sketch.
Yeah. You want a kind of Benny Hill that bachelorette party where you're sort of causing a scandal in the Orthodox Church.
Yeah, exactly. So you know how like there's Lady Ghostbusters? This is gonna be Lady Hangover. It's like, what the fuck did we do last night? And there's like disposable photos of me.
Yeah.
in Mount Athos.
What of you just like sort of pranking monks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Great.
Sister Act. But,
Yeah.
but Mount Athos.
A cross between Sister Act and The Hangover, really, is what you're proposing. But instead of as a movie, it's for something to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're pitching not a movie, you're pitching an activity
Yes.
to a studio.
You could do a documentary.
Don't film it, but do let me do it.
Yeah. Just fund me.
Yeah. Do I have your permission, Paramount, to go and, piss about in Mount Athos for a while?
I need to do it, and then you will have something to base a movie on.
You can buy the rights to it from me.
And I need a fixer. Do you know what I mean? I need someone to fly ahead a week before and just arrange things for
Well, that's
me.
going to have to be a guy.
You need a
Yeah.
Greek guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a Greek guy in. He's getting food.
Well, he's going to stash food at strategic locations around Mount Athos. Because you're going to be running from place to place. You're basically
Yes.
going to be in hiding.
Yeah.
It's going to also be like The Hangover, Sister Act, plus like The Running Man.
Him.
I love
that's a
riffing
great
with
film.
Riley because it quickly turns into an interrogation.
Yeah. Him, he's in Mount Athos and he's trying to set it up so that Olga will have a good time doing this sort of Benny Hill Mount Athos skit, but without raising the alarm. And he's like, okay, this corridor here, what if there are a lot of doors opposite each other? I think it would be great for communication between the monks. And what if they were connected in strange ways? You go in the left door, you come out of the right door. No one knows how, but it's very fun. It's the Holy Spirit in action.
What if all of you took a vow of silence for the next week?
Yeah. What about a vow of blindfolds?
Yeah, perfect. Vow of blindfolds. You could do that. Also, I could be like, this food, I'm going to distribute at areas around, because it's a forested mountain. That doesn't have very many roads.
Okay.
I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good.
Topographically speaking,
Topographically speaking,
you should be the fixer.
I think I should be the fixer.
just so I'm on the same page as you guys then. This
is a hard page to be on.
which is hard. I'll be honest. Is this a monk? We're pranking monks in this program?
I'm just having a great time at my Bachelorette.
Okay.
Well,
So men go to Hooters.
You can make anything sound like anything if you phrase it like that. We are also pranking monks to have a good time.
Yeah. That's part of it. That's part of it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
No, good. Thank you for checking.
Monkass.
Yeah. Well, then I'd say, look, I'm get these offerings of non-perishable foods.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring. There's a new way. There's a hip new way to make an offering to show your dedication to God.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go and tie these up in strategic trees around Mount Athos.
Yes.
Along with some sacrificial camping supplies.
Yeah.
That I will just stow.
This is like
a
Ocean's 11 vibes.
It's like Operation Gladio.
Okay.
I love that. When you read the scripture, okay, Jesus Christos, okay, he loves a white claw. Which is why we must leave these white claws around Mount Athos to welcome his spirit into the island.
It turns out that Jesus and Santa Claus have a lot more in common. They want to be loved in the same way, which is by having stuff left for them.
Yes.
Particularly
penis straws.
Oh, yeah. So they won't know anything about that stuff. Actually, they're going to be really easy to trick, right? You'd be like, no, this is a straw that represents what was
God's penis.
No, this represents what was not removed in Jesus' circumcision.
Yes.
Right? That's what this represents. This is a holy.
Are penis straws cut?
What?
I think European ones are not. Canadian American ones are.
Really?
I don't know. It seems likely though.
I think they're all circumcised.
So there's
I think cartoon dicks are always circumcised.
Well, the best way to check the average of what's
That's
available
American
where
cultural dominance.
is to look at Alibaba.
All right, let's
to see
Okay.
what because like the Chinese factories making this stuff.
Yeah, sorry, the website, not the guy.
Yeah.
We're not going to exhume Alibaba.
Okay, so are penis straws cut?
Probably circumcised, actually, Alibaba.
In terms of toilet
they're
wall
always hard, so it's
dicks
harder
you
to
draw.
tell.
The
right?
vast
Like
majority of
graffiti dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
think they normally
vast
are.
majority of the penis straws appear to be
This would
circumcised.
be
Some
a
of them
great
just have.
Guestimators question.
Wouldn't it?
Oh, what's
What
horrible is
percentage
that
of
there are
depictions?
some that are like flesh colored, which is horrible.
Yeah, I think that's quite common with the
Yeah.
straws, yeah.
That's when I picture a penis straw, it is flesh colored.
See, I tend to picture sort of a multicolored,
Caucasian?
so much like a toy gun will have an orange tip, right?
Yeah.
So you know it's so
you know
it
you're
is-
not sucking a real dick. like it says like blank fire down the side.
Yeah,
I'm going to get
replica.
that tattooed on my dick.
replica. Yeah.
No, baby, we don't need a condom.
Yeah. No, they appear to all be Yeah, but so we could stash some of these around. You would have like a group of friends, I assume.
Yeah, obviously.
You wouldn't just be doing this by yourself.
No. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be lone gunman without a gun territory.
Yeah.
Lone claws woman.
Yeah.
Lone penis straw.
Yeah.
Before turning it on herself.
So, we could, what other, we've talked about, you've always asked the rest of us about our ideal bachelorette parties. I think we did bachelorette parties?
Yeah.
Bachelor
Your
parties.
ideal bachelorette
My ideal bachelorette party is largely what we're describing.
Right.
I think we've got yours. It's
I think so.
being airdropped into doing a halo jump into Mount Athos. Like,
Pranking monks.
pranking monks. There are some monks that live near me where I live. You're going to come over for a barbecue. Maybe you could go and practice.
Yeah. Try some stuff out.
I think I'm ready. I'm freaking ready, man.
You're ready to go
I'm
harass
so
some monks.
ready.
Maybe you could get the Turkish government to fund it. You get like Turkish commando support.
That's your suggestion to everything.
Look, they're a generous people.
There are grants you can apply for.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric Adams.
But see, you're applying for a kind of Greek tomfoolery grant that the Turkish government gives out. It's like, hey, are you gonna?
Well, they give it out, but then they take it away, and then
Hey,
they
there
dangle
we
it
go.
out again.
There it is.
Andy, for context, I just got engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I have thought about
To
my
one of the
bachelorette
guys
party.
on Mount Athos.
Yes, absolutely.
He doesn't know
is
it yet.
to find out exactly. So I have been thinking about my bachelorette party. I need to. Okay, so first of all, I need to consider the fact that it's probably going to be mixed gender. All right? Sorry.
Sure.
I've got a lot of different kinds of friends. It would break my heart not to have Milo and Riley at my bachelorette party, particularly because it's happening in Riley's backyard.
Apparently.
which is in Mount Athos. Riley's holiday home on Mount Athos. It's so relaxing here with no women around.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we do Magic Mike. I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun for the whole family. I think you'd enjoy going to Magic Mike from an anthropological documentary perspective.
I've seen Magic Mike XXL in the cinema.
Yeah.
And it was just me and my mate Ali and two women of about our age. We were all about like 22. We weren't with them. They were just there also, but they were the only other people in the cinema.
Okay.
And then halfway through the movie, one of them passed out and paramedics had to come in.
What?
Oh my God.
Did she get too horny?
Well, that's what I just leaned over to Ali and went, maybe it was too sexy. And then he was just like losing it, like while the paramedics are like carrying her out of the room. And she was fine. I think she was fine.
Wow.
Crazy.
I don't know. I think maybe it was like summer.
Okay,
maybe
so
she
if
was
you
too
could
hot or
Flush
something.
kind of thing going.
Yeah, if you could pretend to faint at Magic Mike Live, that would be so fun.
Getting
That
carried
would
out.
be great. Swooning. I want the boys to carry me out. Like one eye open, like not the paramedics, the men. Bring them over here.
Isn't
That one.
Isn't Magic Mike? Isn't it based in Chinatown?
Yeah.
Is it based in China? People's Daily Chinese Magic Mike. These muscly men entertain women for fun in their town.
Great. Yeah. In this tiny village of 1 million people.
Wait, why do you bring up Chinatown?
Oh, just because there's a lot of good food there. We could go.
Okay, okay. He's thinking. He's thinking. I like that.
I'm thinking. Also in the casino has weirdly good steaks.
All right, steaks at the casino. That magic. Okay, we're doing a heist, and then after that, we have to do a heist.
Steaks at the casino.
No, if there's a legal loophole that means that casinos.
There's two types of steaks they have at the casino.
Ayo.
Legally.
Yes, of course. Not so much a legal loophole, but casinos are allowed to sort of flaunt most opening hour laws. So if you do want a sort of 3 a.m. steak in central London, the Golden Casino on Leicester Square is actually a weirdly good place to do that.
Oh, thank God.
Really?
Oh, thank God. Oh.
Thank you to our sponsors this week, the Golden Casino on Leicester Square.
The Golden Hippodrome, I think it's, or maybe it's just the Hippodrome.
It's either Hippodrome or Golden Rhino. No, that's a sex club.
The Spearmint Rhino.
Spearmint Rhino.
There's
Sorry.
no Golden Rhino.
Literally nothing to do with whatever you're saying.
Yeah, Hippodrome. Yeah, it's open late and it has good steaks.
Okay, so we're gonna do that.
Late steaks.
Let's do that. Let's do a pre and post Magic Mike steak. Why not?
Yeah, wait, you want to get really nice and sort of feeling
need sweats.
over full for Magic. You want to feel like bloated and like you want to go then tired for Magic Mike.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You do get a tiny little 4-second lap dance every single person, so that's exciting. But I think
that's all I need.
To be carried out.
What's a 4-second lap dance? Is it sort of homeopathic?
it goes onto you, then it goes one body roll, and then it's on to the next. So you get one body roll.
You could just sort of like if you were to
The worm
face
doing the worm.
forward, you could do the worm across. So all you need to do is you would need to take out the central armrests. It would have to be bench seating.
And everybody has to lie down like on an airplane, recliner seat.
You would need, and people would not be. You couldn't sit 90 degrees. You would have to sit sort of like I don't know, 130 degrees or so, and you'd have to be supported on your feet. The only other question then is, would the up-down motion of the Magic Mike doing the worm, would that cause... Well, the problem is you have varying thigh thickness from person to person,
Right.
which means you would be...
So I hear.
There's one thing Magic Mike has taught us.
So what you would have to do is you would have to organize all of the attendees by approximate thigh circumference.
Like a school photo, but not done by height.
Or maybe a hole like in EasyJet when they're trying to work out how big your bag is.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that.
Does your fly fit in the
It's
size?
not so much that we have minimum and maximum sizes. It's that what we're trying to do is make each row the same or as close to the same as possible so that you don't...
a smooth ride.
But then again, it doesn't even have to be similar. It just has to go along a similar... If there's going to be a slope, the slope has to go one way and be sort of minimal.
Fine.
So you could start at the top of one set of relatively large thighs and end up at the bottom of one set of relatively small thighs, but it just has to be small increments between.
So yes,
We could make Magic Mike so much more efficient.
15 shows a day.
Yeah, you could do 15. You could get that 4-second lap dance down to sort of a second less.
right.
Yeah.
You'd have them
Am
do-
I paying less?
And people
well,
would
if we
still
could have
come.
more shows,
Right.
then each individual ticket could be less. But if you pack out the theater every time, you'd make way more money as Magic Mike.
Is
All
this
right.
like, that Ryanair keeps saying they're going to have stand-up only.
Exactly. I think that's
It's
what
the
he's
next
doing with
thing.
Magic Mike. He's streamlining to the point where where's even the glamour and the pleasure of it anymore?
Magic Martin Lewis.
Now that I'd pay to see.
Yeah.
Like he comes by and you get sort of 4 seconds of financial advice per.
Yeah.
that'd be good.
You get
What
a quick 3 seconds on rewards credit cards before he moves on to the next person. You're like, I thought we had something special.
Whispers in your ear.
It's a bit like Darren Brown. He just sort of looks at you and then it's just like, don't get the Avios card. The generic rewards card is better for your needs.
Yeah. Club card actually gives you more points per pound than Nectar does. They're worth more.
Okay, so
But you've got to spend them through the website. Don't just use them for cash.
I constantly forget to spend through the website.
Oh God, don't even get me started. You have to use the portal. You have to use the portal to collect the Avios.
Like I'm going on a holiday to Porto in a few weeks, and like a sort of
Through the
like
Porto.
a tool, like an idiot, like a country fool.
Oh my God, what'd you do?
I didn't book through the portal.
Oh no.
I didn't get extra Avios. I booked through another service that
I'm gonna lose
does
my
give
mind.
me extra things. Like I didn't just book like some kind of lunatic directly on the hotel website.
God no.
Like some kind of person who just loves leaving money on the table.
I don't even know what Avios is. Is that bad? I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
honey.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what that is.
Andy.
It is the.
I am Roman Catholic. I was brought up by nuns.
Yeah.
They're kind of like indulgences, but like a
Yeah.
modern day version.
It's a rewards system that you could buy British Airways airplane tickets with, but it's like it ties into loads and loads of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It's networked throughout all of British society.
Nectar,
And there's a sinister cabal
Sainsbury's.
of air miles people controlling British
sorry,
society.
this isn't funny. This is just interesting. Airlines make a huge amount more money selling theoretical flights that people may, in fact, never take to credit card companies, Sainsbury's, and so on, so they can be offered as incentives.
Nectar points are a parallel cryptocurrency that exists with the Great British Pound.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Boots Advantage points, but way more complicated, and they cover significantly more vendors.
Yeah. I never buy. I'm a fool. I never buy. I understand the economics of it, but I never buy through the portal.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's how they expect a huge drop off on the portal. Before we get to the Avios, can I just complete my perfect Bachelorette
Please.
party
Oh, yeah,
description?
sure.
I'm really sorry.
It's about Avios. You're
It
going to
is,
collect Avios
yes.
from the Bachelorette party.
Everybody's getting.
Yeah. Everyone's Magic Mike tickets are going to be booked through your
You're gonna
Avios
throw
portal.
Avios tokens onto the Magic Mic.
Yeah,
There are no
basically,
such things as physical Avios tokens. Why are these made of metal?
we start collecting Avios now. We pay for the entire Magic Mike party with Avios points alone. Okay.
So we're going to be in the Avios seats, where we're the one seat where they don't line you up by thigh circumference.
Yeah, they are actually the British Airways first class seats, like the actual seat from there.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
you have to book the whole ticket on rewards. Then you're like the only day when they have like Magic Mike tickets available is like Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
11
we're going to
a.m.
the Tuesday morning rehearsal of Magic Mike.
Unfortunately, it is a dress rehearsal. They will be fully clothed.
Yeah.
More to
Sorry.
the imagination.
You have to finish your
I'm
thought.
just going to finish this and
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
can
yeah,
move
yeah.
on. But basically, the first part of the day, and everybody's invited, and I really
Everyone watching this.
strongly want to do this, is we get full glam. Okay,
Okay,
we got
yeah.
a hairstylist in, we get a makeup artist in. Everybody looks incredible. And then we have a photo shoot for a sexy calendar. And not only is there like a token at the end of the Bachelorette party that everybody walks out with a calendar where they look amazing. And it's like, oh,
Okay.
Olga's Bachelorette, fun, like a fun memory.
You're thinking about it for a whole year.
Yes, and
You
you're
could mark down the anniversary of it on the calendar.
absolutely. And then
Oh,
also, I like
smart
that
idea.
idea. Thank you so much. I'm stealing that. And then when we're ready for the night out in the town, steaks and boys,
Double stakes.
we are
Yeah.
double steaks, boys steaks. We steak sandwich. We are full glam. We're ready to go. Our hair looks amazing. We look amazing because of the photo shoot.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's a
love
great
this.
idea.
A
This
glow
is
up.
very Olga.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You ready?
That sounds fine.
You ready to get your hair
Yeah.
styled?
I usually
Maybe a
keep
touch of foundation?
I usually keep it this length, so I don't really know what kind of styling we'd have options.
Maybe we oil you up. Maybe we shave your chest.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
I'm
make
already getting laser.
let's make Riley hard to catch like Bronson.
Yeah. So I'm already getting laser on my
Just on
shoulders
your
and
back?
back. On my shoulders,
is that,
back, and upper
baby?
arms. I think it's time.
Upper arms. I think it's time.
I
think the time has come to laser my shoulders
I
back
think
and
being
upper arms.
hairless is attractive mostly to gay men. Women love hair.
But no, it's uneven.
Yes, so?
It's even on the front,
Mm.
as you can see.
They're inventing new insecurities every fucking day, and I can't. I just can't keep up with keeping your self-esteem at even keel because you will find a thing to freak out about.
I sure
You
will.
are honestly one of my hottest friends, and you are such a fucking handful. Jesus Christ.
What is lasering like? How does it feel when they do it to you?
It feels
Thank you,
like
Andy.
you're getting a it feels like you're getting rapidly pinched by some very small fingers. And then
that's absolutely terrifying.
There's a strange.
That's exactly what's happening.
There's a Oh, it's called like there's a little guy.
Yeah. When you go to traditional Chinese laser.
Yeah. So the what is it? You get it feels like you're getting pinched by a little guy. The sort of much stranger thing is that obviously, because what they're doing is they're burning a hair follicle out at the root.
Right.
Is it smells ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that burnt hair smell.
Yeah.
It smells absurd somehow.
You should. It should work really well on you because you have really dark hair.
Yeah.
Because the darker the follicle, like it's the amount of pigment in
Correct,
the hair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I got buffaloed by the sales lady.
What does that mean?
I think I got sort of, bowled over and tricked.
In what way?
Well, I think now. So I didn't look into the business model of laser hair removal before going in to talk to the person about laser hair removal. And I think more fool me.
You didn't book through the portal.
Because I didn't book through the portal.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't look into the business model. And so I didn't really understand that they're very much like a,
MLM?
Well, not so much an MLM. It's just they really want to pre-sell you sessions that you're not going to use.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're like, oh, well, we think you need 10 sessions for all of this. But actually, we're having a sale right now. That's as cheap as all that. And then I was like, okay, you seem like an expert. I'll have
You
that.
seem totally
I'll walk
hairless.
out.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, of course. So
Like no hair on the entire body, like no hair on the head or anything.
nothing.
Like,
I was like, you know what? You know what you're doing.
Never trust a hairy laser guy.
Then I walked out and I was like, I've been had. I don't think I need 10 sessions.
How many have you had so far?
1.
And is it working?
Yes.
Oh shit! Can we see your back?
No.
Oh.
I guess I'll have to wait for my bachelorette party.
What percentage of your back is now hairless compared to what it was before? I've never thought I'd ask someone that question before.
There we fucking go, Andy. This is why you're a professional broadcaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
What percentage of my back is now hairless? Thank you for asking. All of it.
Okay, how much was a hairy before?
After one session.
That's the thing, about 15%.
Okay, so it was like rogue hairs that like were meant to be in your chest, but they forgot what they were.
They got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to just flag our sponsor this week, Hair Bears Back Lasering.
Hair Bears
they are
Back
offering,
Lasering.
if you put in the code Riley once over to get your discount
Hair
on
Bears
10
Back
sessions.
Lasering. Let me just ask you. You want to start a company
Yeah.
that does only back lasering.
Yeah.
And it's called Hair Bears.
Yeah. Only male back lasering.
Only no back lasering. Any back lasering.
People of all genders can have hair.
But no, because I think if it's male, then we could make it a gay thing.
Well, Bears is right in the name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Doing a sort of gay, like a gay friendly.
Can I throw something in there that just occurred to me?
That's sort of the whole basis of the
In
show.
a perfect world, and I think I've given you enough warning. In a perfect world, my male friends would be the Magic Mike Live.
I'm working on it.
I think if you guys want to do like a half-naked review from me, that would be quite nice.
Oh,
wow. Imagine how that would pan out.
Yeah.
That would be great. It doesn't have to be at the Magic Mike Live Casino.
Well, Riley's doing it back first because he's so proud of the results.
Yeah, you say half naked. It's instead of top bottom, it's front back.
Like assless
calves.
chaps, like backless shirt. Yeah.
Ass, calves, or grass. Yeah.
There we go.
Nobody rides for free.
Yeah. That's my tramp stamp.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Everybody has to be half naked. Some of them are
I
topless, some of them are bottomless.
I am
some of them are-
I am definitely posterior chain dominant, so I'm already ahead in that.
Putting that on my field profile. Posterior chain dominant.
No, it's something I struggle with every time I run.
I'm going to top you with my ass.
No, it's something I struggle with anytime I run.
Can you clarify that statement for me?
So anterior chain and posterior chain are sort of front and back, basically. So it's when I squat, it's very difficult for me to get it into my my quadriceps, and it sort of wants to be in my ass. No, it's just my ass is
You
easier
have such
to
a powerful ass.
Draw stuff into it.
Yeah, so
me looking at any object.
So the feeling is very much. There we go.
Let's go.
It's like blowing up an airbed.
Yeah. So then when I run, frequently I sort of end up with iliotibial band pain.
Oh,
Okay.
God, don't you just hate that? Andy?
That's
I
the
do
worst
just hate it,
ones.
though. It sucks. It means that I top out at 5Ks before I started getting painful knees. It's terrible. I think I've talked about this on the show before. Ever since I went on that Chinese hike,
Yeah, no, you have to. Okay, I've got two
Chinese
questions.
hike sounds like a euphemism.
You strike me as a person who cares more about strength than cardio, so I'm assuming you're more of a lifter. Second of all, why are you fixated on running as the cardio? Why isn't it? Can it be swimming or cycling or something?
Thank you very much for asking.
Oh my god, I knew it. Let's go.
It's because I'm a very busy person, and sometimes I only have time for a workout that starts the moment I leave my house.
Yeah.
And then ends the moment I get back to my house.
Okay, so running is just a convenience thing.
It's I try to go to the gym or row anytime I possibly can.
And you only have time to run 5K, so it's perfect.
Exactly. So it does actually all slot in sort of.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't funny.
You're
it just makes
perfectly
sense.
designed for
I
your
just find it
lifestyle.
very interesting.
Yeah, it just makes sense for my life.
Because your look isn't runner. Because a runner in my head is a very skinny man.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're prioritizing running is very curious to me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But now I understand.
Do you have an exercise of choice, Andy?
What, sorry?
Do you have an exercise of choice?
I like a load of cycling to and from work, that kind of thing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We had a Peloton for a little bit during lockdown.
Yeah.
So a bit of like exercise bike stuff. But
you've got like 50 guys cycling to work with you. So you can slipstream.
All beyond me.
Yeah.
But there was a weird thing where people were like hacking their exercise bikes so that their scores were it was showing that they were going faster than they actually were.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of a weird thing. So again, completely unhelpful for you if you're trying to improve yourself through exercise.
Yeah, whose is this benefiting,
I think
right?
Piers Morgan, I think, had one. And he allegedly hacked his exercise bike to make it look like he was going or doing, a higher output than he actually was. So they were all at it.
At that point, why not just hire someone to pedal it for you?
Well, just sit and read the paper with the crossed legs.
Yeah.
Someone's doing it for you.
You're sat on the bike and there's like a team of children like underneath you, like doing the pedals with their arms.
At that
It's
point,
weird.
Look, when Pelotons were popular, a lot of people needed the extra work. There could have been a whole industry of sort of like how there are fake exam takers, there could be fake Peloton spinners.
Yeah. Oh, you got a tandem version of it. Would be quite good, wouldn't it?
You could even sort of build a sort of a rudimentary piston device to just turn the wheels 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This guy's committed to cycling.
Piers
He never
Morgan has
stops.
not stopped cycling in 12 days. And he's kept up an exact pace. Incredible.
That would be impressive.
Yeah, he was even doing it while he was, on the television.
Yeah.
Well,
this is kind
interestingly,
of
you're the second person with an amazing radio voice who has come on this show and been a cycling enthusiast.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Jeremy Vine.
Well, I feel honoured to be in the same conversation as Jeremy Vine, but yeah.
both radio DJs, both cyclists.
But he's got out of the cycling combat market now, Jeremy.
I've heard that, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, he was going around with this kind of what appeared to be a drone hovering above his cycling helmet.
I think it was that he had like a 360 camera that was like on a stick above the helmet. So it looked like it was hovering, but it was actually affixed.
It looked like he was a non-player character in a video game who gives you a quest. Like he's got a little exclamation point above his
Wait, and
head.
why was he filming this? Was this a live stream that people paid for?
He was just showing how
he would upload
awful.
the videos afterwards.
Yeah.
Like he would edit stuff.
Because he cycles through Kensington and Chelsea, and Kensington and Chelsea has the most aggressive drivers in the city, and also
the
is
most Qatari royal family drivers.
Aggressively pro-car council. They're why we don't have a very large east-west cycle line that sort of is unbroken. That's why sort of most cycling infrastructure stops at Kensington Gardens.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's because
Right, 'cause there's
Kensington and
cycle
Chelsea
superhighways
blocks it.
everywhere else.
Yeah, Kensington and Chelsea always blocks everything ever going into the borough. Yeah, it's scandalous.
That is scandalous. Because it feels like such a neutral topic.
No, because everyone in Kensington and Chelsea loves their Chelsea tractors, their Range Rovers and so on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like go to the suburbs.
Yeah, well, they do on the weekend. They drive out there.
Unbelievable in
their Chelsea tractors, in their Range Rovers and so forth.
But yeah, wouldn't it be good to kind of cultivate some kind of conversational dialogue between motorists and cyclists and pedestrians? It feels like each of the different clans has got a bit of a war going on.
The motorists are going so fast, you can't really talk to them.
We'll cycle alongside them and just try and have a little chat.
Another thing.
But that's why, obviously Jeremy doesn't do it anymore now, but that kind of like posting bad driving behavior online. I think that's kind of like, I'm glad he stopped that because I think it's good for everyone to kind of get along. We should try and get along, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Controversial.
Controversial opinion. I don't like a line bike on the pavement.
Yeah, me neither.
I really don't
They're
like that
the worst,
at all.
though, line bikes,
It
though, aren't
scares
they?
me.
People need to put their money where their mouth is with cycling. And I say this as someone, I used to cycle a lot. I still cycle sometimes still. I'm very careful with cyclists on the road. But I routinely see people cycling on the pavement and I'm just like, stop being a fucking pussy. Get in the fuck, especially in London. The traffic's moving at like 9 miles an hour. What's the worst that can happen to you?
I stopped cycling for like 3 reasons.
Okay.
Let's hear him.
Well, the first reason.
One, no cycle lanes on Mount Athos.
It's hard to get to all the places. Oh, yeah. I would say the places that I look at, Mount Athos, Chung Ying Street in Hong Kong. That's the old sort of land crossing between on the east side.
You are Riley, and
Great
I
place
say
for
this
a
is a
Chinese hike.
Riley's a manic pixie dream girl.
What?
You are.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like the
Very
Zooey
sweet.
Deschanel of this podcast.
I used to really like sort of looking at the different the borders of India and Bangladesh because there were so many second order enclaves.
Oh yeah.
They've straightened that out now. I would say, unfortunately, they've straightened that out now. No, really, really fortunately, they have straightened that out now. It was really bad for the people that lived in them. It was like impossible to get like electricity because any wire would have to cross between like 3 sets of national borders to get to a second order enclave, which is crazy.
Is this you're on the toilet whilst looking at this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to talk about your digestion, but continue.
Or especially like border area, like the road crossings between India, Nepal, and China, stuff like that.
Is this why you decided to stop
Imagine a
cycling?
toilet there.
No, sorry, I got distracted because you
Yeah.
mentioned about Mount Athos.
Right, yeah. Sorry, So 3 reasons why you don't cycle.
So number 1 is that when I used to cycle quite a bit, I lived in Hackney, and there was just no public transport infrastructure really to speak of. And I was often going around Hackney or to sort of neighboring boroughs. Number 2, I've now moved to Haringey where there is more public transport infrastructure. And so the alternative is just there. And number 3, I no longer have cycle storage outside my house. So I needed to sort of bring my bike every time I wanted to use it with its grease and its handlebars and its waving around
Not
and
ideal.
sort of marking up the walls of my I don't want to mark up my paint.
I've got a
don't.
foldy bike, one of those foldy
The
Brompton.
Brompton,
yeah.
So that's kind of you could do that, or I've seen people hang their bikes from the ceiling in their houses. That could be
Yeah.
that could be a thing.
My ceiling is pretty spoken for.
Oh, is it?
Well,
What have you got up there?
Well, the ceiling isn't spoken. Well, lights mostly.
You've got like a big Da Vinci flying contraption up there. Like,
Yeah,
just like to look at
I keep my flying machine up there. You know, I'm trying to slip the surly bonds of Earth.
Yeah.
Now, what do I keep up there?
What's that border that you and I were obsessed with? It was like Russia, North Korea, and China.
I think it's just Russia and North Korea in Hassan.
Yes.
In eastern Russia, and we looked up and
It's sort of a wide gravelly river, as I'm given to remember.
Yeah. And there was a cafe in this town, and it had like one Google review where someone said they had the carrot cake and it was disappointing.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you go to a cafe in like this horrible border town in Russia with like nothing there? Like you look Google Maps of this town, it's like Threads, and then it's like, and then you'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna have the carrot cake.
I'll try the carrot cake.
My expectation is that it will be good.
No, it's China too.
Oh, it's China too.
Yeah, it's all 3. It's all 3. It's so cool.
You could go on a Chinese hike.
This is where it is, and if I zoom out,
Ooh.
understand?
Yeah.
picture it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be a great phone in for our radio show. What's your favourite border? Do you know what I mean? Top 5 borders.
That's going to get a lot of real racist answers, though.
You reckon?
Oh, I bet there are going to be some people who call and it's like the English border, militarize it.
Keep the Scots out.
Yeah,
It's got
Hate the
things
Scots,
like this.
hate the Welsh.
This is
Can't
called
stand them.
Scenic Point. I don't know how scenic that is.
That's not very scenic,
Scenic
is
point.
it?
It's just a
it'd be
field.
pretty scenic.
Yeah.
Or like looking at the driving directions from like different parts of Turkey to like different parts of different parts of Iran.
Actually, we've been remiss here. What did you do on your stag do?
Stag-Do.
This is a great question.
I did a kayaking trip through the Wye Valley, and we were all dressed as hillbillies.
Wait, sorry, you were doing Deliverance. You did.
But we didn't have anal sex at the end.
You did Deliverance. You
What's
did
Well, they
Deliverance.
have anal
as a
sex in the
stag do.
middle of
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, then get back on it.
Did anyone have a banjo?
No, we didn't. That was a mistake. That
would have
was a
been
missed
like
opportunity.
That would have been a great way to make your stag do more like extremely upsetting movie Deliverance.
Well, actually, what you needed was for you guys to be dressed like John Boy. You should all have been wearing like plaid shirts and stuff, and then you should have hired some actors. That should have been the prank on you as the stag. Like,
exactly.
The best man has hired a bunch of actors who pretend to be hillbillies.
So you'd
And
have
they've
to,
got a banjo.
You'd have to hire a kid with a really round face to do.
He was funny, that kid in the rocking chair, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But you know what? I watched. We were in America ages ago, and they
Sorry,
showed.
I can't believe you had a Deliverance themed stag do. That's an insane thing to have done.
Wait, so
it's
what-
really
yeah,
interesting.
What pushed you
niche.
to do this?
I love the film. I love.
Oh wait, so you
Love
this
the
is not
movie.
a joke. You genuinely recreated.
Yeah.
You
so,
know what's a laugh?
it'll all be great fun. I'm sorry, when I say it out loud, it does sound really fucking weird.
Honestly, it's like you might as well have said to me, how do you theme your stag? Oh yeah, I had a The Deer Hunter theme stag do. What did we do? We played Russian roulette. Steve's died, unfortunately.
One guy dies.
Yeah,
What?
we got
Can someone tell me the plot of Deliverance really quickly?
Deliverance is like these like kind of like middle class like wealthy Americans. They go like on a kind of canoeing trip through the deep south, like Alabama somewhere in the States.
It's Appalachia.
yeah.
It's Appalachia.
Okay, yeah. Well, the south anyway.
Clearly,
in
the guy
yeah.
who's the least fan of this movie is explaining it to me. You're being
I
fact-checked.
have seen it, but only once. You don't need to see it more than once.
Okay.
And then they
Are
encounter.
you going to DeliverCon this year?
Yeah, they encounter these like kind of like hillbillies, like kind of slightly inbreds, like, and then they have this like guitar off with them, where like the hillbillies like
Battle of
boy
the
is like
Bands?
there's this kind of like sort of like mentally subnormal boy, but he's like really good at the banjo, and then one of them like plays guitar with him, and there's this song from the movie that's quite famous called Dueling Banjos, which is like them playing, and then later like they get like attacked by possibly the same hillbillies or maybe different hillbillies, and one of them gets kind of like raped by the hillbillies. And then they murder this hillbilly, and then they keep canoeing, but then they become really paranoid that like the body of the hillbilly will be. It's like about like the kind of how they cope with like this insane thing that happened to them, and also the insane thing that they did in response. It's quite a dark movie.
It's really.
I
not
presume
what
none
you-
of that happened on the stag do.
No, it was good fun. It was fine, but we didn't get involved in it. But the other weird thing was, I watched The Deliverance when I was in America, so I'd seen it before, but they showed it when we were staying at this motel in America. But because of the censorship over there, they cut the scene, which was the kind of rape scene, out of it.
Right.
So it looked like the American tourist guys had massively overreacted to just a bit of catcalling from some hillbillies. You know what I mean? It was kind of bizarre.
So they actually just made it look worse. by
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
That out.
But yeah, so we had dungarees, the shirts, we had like flagons of cider that we had in our... Have you ever kayaked before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was great fun with your cider in there as well. I mean, you're still, I guess, brainstorming ideas for your...
I'm gonna
party.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably not gonna be what I do for my Bachelorette. But thank you so much for throwing that in.
Hey, do it. You know, it's a
What if
brainstorm.
instead of the hillbillies, it's the Magic Mike guys come out and surprise you
Yeah.
while you're kayaking?
I think maybe.
What movie would I recreate? I'm gonna go to
Magic
law
Mike.
school like Elwood's.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I said it earlier. The Deer Hunter. You know, could really cull my number of friends, or if I don't, it's not my problem anymore. You know.
I'd actually no. My serious answer to this, I would do Ocean's 11. That would be so chic and cool.
Ooh.
Do like a heist of a Vegas hotel. That would be so fun.
Kind of like a really elaborate escape room.
And I just really love my favorite.
You just
trope.
love giant amounts of money that you're stealing.
Yeah, and Don Cheadle doing a British accent. But I'd say my
incredible accent.
my most favorite trope, and I've said this on the pod before, is like assembling a group of ragtag people. That's my favorite thing. Getting in the car. Get in the car. You get a housewife, a gambler, a teacher, a
housewife,
child.
a gambler, a teacher, and a child. How are you going to... What is the plan? Right?
Best bachelorette party ever.
Yeah.
What, has a child at it?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
The decoy child.
A decoy child. Okay, so maybe... Okay, fine. Good. So the child maybe gets sent into the casino. The teacher...
As a distraction.
As a distraction.
Oh, where's your mommy? We're in the back going beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, we're in the... Yeah. So it's all casino security now devoted to finding child's mommy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Where
Yeah, every single guard, every single camera. It's like, point it away from the vaults quickly. We got to find this child's mommy.
Exactly.
So in the casino. And then the teacher is going to be like, the housewife could be like, oh no, my kid.
My kid, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're
I lost him at craps.
exactly.
And then no, I didn't lose him at craps. I was playing craps, and that's where I lost him.
He was supposed to be
Lost track
counting the
of him.
cards and he got distracted.
So you're the housewife.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my, the
I sent him to go and get me another drink and he's not come back.
No, it's the you're doing in card counting. There are different ways to do it. One is called spotter and big player. So where everyone is sort of if you need a team of like 8 people, right? Maybe 6 to 7 people are actually.
I've seen the film 21 starring Kevin Spacey. I know what you're talking
Oh yeah.
about.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
I actually haven't.
Oh, okay. It's about card counting, but I kind of understand what
Yeah.
you're
So
saying.
the child could be the big player. Just come in and then when the count's high, the teacher just signals by going woo.
Yeah.
And then the
Oh my God,
child comes
secret
in
sign.
and then just goes, I'm feeling stupid.
Are
You
you a
have the
gambler?
knowledge.
Do you gamble?
I learned to play craps when we were in America, just so I could
It's
stay on the
so
table.
easy to play craps.
I know. Someone had to teach me like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Labrador.
Now
But,
there's where they should have toilets around the table.
But you want to try and stay on the table for as long as you can to get free drinks and all that kind of stuff. So I learned worked out how to play that, but I don't
Rolling a dice really slowly.
really slowly.
Let me just.
Oh, I could do sexy baby. I could be like, is this a die? What do I do with die? And
You
then-
can blow on it for a really long.
Yeah,
Just like really like work your lung capacity. Like,